Hello students, today we are going to study about the chemical properties of metal and non-metal. In the previous video, we studied about the physical properties of metal and non-metal, how they are different and what are their characteristics. In today's video, we'll be studying about how metal or non-metal reacts with various reagents. First, let's just study the chemical properties of metal, how metal react with various reagents. So, the first one is how metal reacts with oxygen. So, metal, it combines with oxygen to give you metal oxides. So, here the M signifies the metal. So here what has happened? The metal has combined with the oxygen to form metal oxide. This is a metal oxide. So let's see some example of it. The first one, when copper is heated, here copper is the metal. It's heated with oxygen to give you copper oxide. So what is this copper oxide? This copper oxide is a metal oxide. O2 resembles oxygen and Cu resembles copper. So, here the copper combined with oxygen to give you copper oxide, which is metal oxide. The second is when aluminium is heated or combined with oxygen to form aluminium oxide. So here the metal aluminium is combined with the oxygen to form a metal oxide, that is aluminium oxide. Now let's see one of the lab experiment which will make this topic more clear. Burning of magnesium. So here what you are doing? Yes, can you see the silver strip? Yes, this is a magnesium strip. So, when you heat this magnesium strip, what is happening? You will get a bright white color light, right? After this, what happens? Here, the magnesium combines with oxygen, and after this, downwards, you will get an ash colored residue. That is magnesium oxide. So here you are taking a magnesium strip, you are heating it. While heating it, the oxygen gets combined with magnesium. Mg stands for magnesium. So the oxygen combines with magnesium and it forms magnesium oxide. You will get ash colored residue, or you will get some ash or the remaining, that is magnesium oxide. So now whether we have to test whether the magnesium oxide is acidic or basic in nature. So what do we do? Yes, this is the residue, the ash that you get. To that ash you add drop of water and you make a paste. You take that paste and you put it over the two litmus paper. What do you observe? There is no change in the blue litmus paper. So what does it mean? Yes, it means that magnesium oxide is not acidic in nature. But what do you observe over here? The red litmus paper has changed blue. What does it state? What does it state? Yes, it states that the magnesium oxide is basic in nature. So, from this we can conclude that a metal reacts with oxygen to form metal oxide, which is basic in nature. Now let's see the other reaction. Yes, how metal reacts with water. What does it form? Metals. These are some of the metals. Na stands for sodium, K potassium, Ca calcium, Al aluminium, Fe iron. So what is happening over here? Yes, all these metals are reacted with water. And what do they give? They give you metal hydroxide. OH means hydroxide. So here, let's take the first example. The sodium is combined with water to give sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. The potassium is reacted with water to give potassium hydroxide and hydrogen. H2 stands for hydrogen. So OH, where there is OH, it means it's in hydroxide. So these all are the metal hydroxide. Here calcium combines with water to give calcium hydroxide. Aluminium combines with water to give aluminium. See, it's oxide. It's not hydroxide. Aluminium combined with water to give aluminium oxide. Iron combines with water to give iron oxide and hydrogen. So these two are the exceptional case. Others gives you hydroxide. These both gives you what? Oxide and hydrogen. So metals react with water to form metal oxides or metal hydroxides and hydrogen. So either they produce metal oxides or they produce metal hydroxide. With that, for sure, they'll produce hydrogen. This is how a metal reacts with water. So you can see here, this is actually calcium. So this is a pure water. To that you have added calcium. After certain period of time, all the reaction occurs and you get something known as calcium hydroxide. So here the calcium has reacted with water to give you calcium hydroxide and hydrogen. I hope it's clear. Calcium is reacted with water to give calcium hydroxide. CaOH means calcium hydroxide and hydrogen. So a metal reacts with water to give metal hydroxide or metal oxide and hydrogen. The next is how metal reacts with acids. We have studied about acids and base in our previous class. So what will happen when a metal is reacted with an acid? So HCl means hydrochloric acid. So what would happen when the metal, that is magnesium, aluminium, zinc or iron, is reacted with HCl, that is hydrochloric acid? So it is observed that when metal is reacted with acid, it gives you salt and hydrogen. So it gives, what is this? This is the salt of magnesium, the aluminium salt, zinc, fluorine, iron salt. So what happens? Metal reacts with the acid to give salt. This is the salt. Salt means you have done the neutralization process. You might know what is salt. It is neutral in nature. So metal reacts with acid to form salt and hydrogen. Now let's see some of the chemical properties of nonmetals. First, what happens when non-metal, that is sulfur, carbon dioxide, reacted with oxygen? Yeah. So when it reacts with oxygen, it forms non-metal oxide. So non-metal react with oxygen to form non-metal oxide. Like metals forms metal oxide, the non-metals form non-metal oxide. So let's see the two examples. When sulfur is heated, it combines with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. As there are two oxygen, that's why it's named as sulfur dioxide. When carbon is heated, it combines with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. So this is carbon, this is sulfur, this is a non-metal. It reacts with oxygen to give you a non-metallic oxide, that is sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide. Let's see an experiment. So here we can see when sulfur is combined with oxygen. So what we are doing over here, the sulfur is heated, and after being heated, after the sulfur catches fire, it is then kept inside the jar, and after certain period of time, when the whole sulfur is burned, you can see a yellowish gas being produced. So that yellowish color gas is the sulfur dioxide. So what would be the nature of sulfur dioxide or the non-metallic oxide? Will it be acidic or basic? When the sulfur dioxide is combined with oxygen and water, it gives you H2SO4. You might have heard about something known as sulfuric acid, right? It's an acid. It's a really dangerous acid. So what happens when a non-metallic oxide reacts with water? It gives you acid. So when you do the litmus paper, the blue litmus turns red. That means acid is being produced. So this is how a non-metal reacts with oxygen. So what happens when a non-metal is reacted with water? Non-metals usually do not react with water, though they seem to be very reactive in air, but they do not react with water. There are non-metals that are stored in water. For example, phosphorus is a non-metal. It is very reactive. It catches fire if it's put in air. So such non-metal is kept in water. It's stored in water so that it do not come in contact with air. So the non-metals normally do not react with water, and the non-metals normally do not react with acids. In many experiments, you have seen that hydrogen is evolved. So how do you know that the evolved gas is hydrogen or not? Yes, there is an experiment or there is a proof that tells you which is which gas. So what do? You bring a lighted matchstick over to the mouth of the test tube. So when you bring it towards the test tube, if hydrogen gas is evolved, it would extinguish this matchstick and it will produce a pop sound. From that pop sound, you can distinguish the gas is hydrogen gas. So this is how you can detect whether a gas evolved is hydrogen or not. Today we learned about metals, non-metals, its chemical reactivity properties, and also how to detect hydrogen gas if it's evolved. I hope you all understood. Thank you and have a nice day.